Hello everybody, this is Greg from the Soul Star Team channel, where we strive to give you the most accurate pick a card readings possible. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And welcome to all you new people. If you haven't seen us before, welcome and thanks for watching. Today's reading is going to be all about what do they fantasize about you when they're pleasuring themselves. This is intended for viewers 18 years of age or older. So if you're not 18 yet, we'll see you later. Okay, men, if there's any of you out there, this is being read from the perspective of a woman. So you might get something out of it, but we're talking about you guys, okay? So this is mainly geared toward women. We have 3 piles here. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So just pick the pile that resonates the most with you. Pick the one that's just standing out the most to you. And simply skip ahead to the timestamp, which is listed below each of these little characters and in the comments and description below. Just pause the video if you need more time. Okay, we'll see you at your reading. Hey Group 1, today we're looking at what do they think about you while they're pleasuring themselves. We're going to use all tarot cards today. I have a bunch of erotic tarot decks, and so I'm also going to use some of the imagery from the cards, okay? I'm going to try to read the energy of both the meaning and the picture, okay? Okay, so the first card we get is the Ace of Swords. Okay, with the Ace of Swords, what I'm getting is that there's a lot of attraction here, okay? So this person's very attracted to you physically, but I'm also getting that they're not a great communicator, and so they probably don't tell you very much that they think you're beautiful or that they think you're really gorgeous or anything like that. They just don't say things like that, even though they're thinking it, and when they're alone, they think about you, which makes them want to pleasure themselves, right? When I look at this picture, clearly it has an image of fucking. Okay, so I think they want to do that with you. I really do. And I think that they imagine it a lot, and I think that they imagine your breasts a lot. So they're very turned on by your body, okay? And they want to explore things other than just regular sex. They want to do some things different, like you kind of get the image of this picture. Then next we get Temperance. Okay, so with this card, I get that they're a very considerate lover, that they really do want to please you as well, and they do think about pleasing you. And I think that they're also want to take their time with you because they have feelings for you. But they're going to take their time with you, so it's going to take some time for them to really tell you that they love you, or tell you that you're beautiful, or tell you that they think your body's great or anything like that. They're just very careful and guarded. But when they're alone, they really think about your breast. They're a breast man or a breast person. I'm getting the chest area. You look at this picture, and that's clearly what you would think of when you look at this picture. You can see the angel wings here. I also get that they do think of you as a goddess or an angel. They really look up to you, and they think very highly of you, and not just in a physical way. It's in a spiritual way and in a very physical way. Next we get the Hierophant. Okay, so this is an energy of feeling safe and being very traditional and avoiding anything that would be taboo. Okay, but they really think of you as more of a spiritual person, even though they want your body. Clearly, they want your body, okay? But they see you as a very spiritual love, and they don't think about you in any way that would be taboo, right? Or they're not thinking of anal sex. They're not thinking of things that would be out of the quote norm. Okay, so they're not kinky, really. They're not anything like that. They want some very traditional things. But they do like your breasts. I keep getting that. They like your breasts. But they also like that you can look like a princess or look like a very virtuous woman, and they like that. But they want you to be a whore in the bedroom, okay? But not in a really dirty way. No, they have very traditional ways of thinking about you. You know, they're thinking about normal sex positions with you. Okay, next we get the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is about choices. It's about the choices of lovers. And it's about choosing where they're going to spend their time. So it's choosing between loving you for your spirituality and loving you for your body. And they're kind of torn when it comes to that. So when they're alone and they're thinking about you, they think about you in a very physical way. And they want you in a lot of different ways. I'm seeing with this image that they want to do it with you in a sitting position. Yeah, I'm also getting that they do kind of like blindfolds. Like nothing really too bad, but you know, blindfolds that kind of make it a little more erotic. And they think about blindfolding you and then just touching you. I'm getting this. They want you to straddle them and enter and let them enter you from a sitting position. You know, and I look at this and I also see night. I think they masturbate most of the time at night. And it could be right after they have a date with you, and so they're just so turned on after that that they just have to go home and pleasure themselves. And they think about you. Again, lots of different sex positions, but they think about you. Yeah, so I'm getting that when they're with you, they love the spiritual part of you. They love the kind of innocent part of you, that princess, that virtuous woman. They like that part of you. But when they get home, they want to think about you in very sexual ways. Then we get the Hermit. Okay, so this is more about looking into yourself and understanding yourself and understanding love, understanding how you love, looking inwardly. And I think they do that a lot. But this is also a card about self-love, right? It's about being alone and loving yourself. And part of that is pleasuring yourself, especially with men. Men pleasure themselves. They just do, okay? So they love themselves, and they love themselves enough to touch themselves. But they love the part of themselves that comes out when they're with you. And when they think about you, they love the feelings that they have when they think about you. And so that turns them on as well. Then we get the Chariot. And this is about movement. And it's also about taking action, especially when it comes to love and lovemaking. It's also about taking control of your own life, and taking control of your love life. Okay, so this person really does want to take control in your love life. They want to be more physical with you, but I'm getting that they're a little bit afraid, which is somewhat of the Hermit energy, but they're a little afraid of you in a lot of ways. They're probably a little shy. I think when you really get to know them, they're not shy at all. But I think for a lot of you, this person is very shy and kind of reserved. They really do want to take action and really take things to the next level with you. They think about having sex with you a lot. Looking at this picture, this is one of the many ways that they imagine having sex with you in. They imagine you on top. For them, they like to look at you. They like to look at your body. They like to look at your face. They like to look into your eyes. And so they imagine you being on top of them. And they think about it in a very loving way, is what I'm being told. Now, they don't think of you in a lot of really dirty ways. They think of you as a princess or a goddess. And so they think about you in very loving and tender ways, but very sexual. Then we get the King of Swords. Still, the energy of this person is that they worship you. They think of you as a goddess, a princess. They put you up on a pedestal. And this person has very high standards when it comes to love. And they have high standards when it comes to their imagery when they're masturbating, okay? They don't want to think of you in a really super dirty way. They just want to picture you making love to you. And that's the energy of the King of Swords, is it's very high standards. They hold themselves to very high standards. And they're very much in control of their emotions. And that's why when they're alone, they like to let go of some of that and release some of that energy by thinking about you in very traditional sexual ways. The most kinky thing they think about is maybe blindfolding you. And I don't think that's even for all of you. I think that's for some of you. But they have very high standards, and they hold themselves to a very high standard when it comes to their imagery and thinking about you while they're masturbating. Next, we get the Knight of Swords. This makes sense too. The Knight of Swords is about fearing intimacy. And so what I'm getting is that this person, they're a little backwards when it comes to making moves on women or on their partner. And so they're a little afraid of you in a lot of ways. They fear real intimacy. They can also be easily bored, but they don't feel bored with you. And this is about taking decisive action. And they want to take action with you and move things more physical, but they're also afraid of that real physical intimacy. I think for some of you, this person is a virgin, and they don't want to tell you that. And so because of that, they're afraid to get very close. But they do think about you very sexually when they're alone. They want that physical intimacy with you. They want to have sex with you. But there's some fear there because it's new to them. And if they're not a virgin, they just haven't had much experience. So they feel intimidated by sex. Okay. Then we go to the Queen of Coins. Yeah, that's a good card here. And because this is about abundance, and it's about nurturing, and it's about being very comfortable and stable. So when they're thinking about you while they're pleasuring themselves, they think about how kind you are and how nurturing you are and how much they want a very abundant lifestyle so that they can give you everything. They're also a pretty stable person. And again, this energy of very traditional sexual positions with this person. They're not crazy. They don't want to do a bunch of weird things. They're very traditional. And they just want to nurture this relationship with you. So when it turns to sex, it can be very loving and comforting and taking their time with you and making sure that you're enjoying yourself and really being aware of both of you together. Okay, this is a very sweet spirit that I get from this person. Then the last card we get is the Page of Coins. Yeah, this is a quiet person, but they're steady. And they're also going to be a good lover. They need some help being a good lover. They may not be a good lover the first time you have sex, but they're going to work on the things that they think will make them a better lover and want to do the things that'll make you happy and make you have very good orgasms, very hard orgasms. They're very committed to your sexual pleasure. And this person is going to be very committed to you. They're very dedicated to you. So again, when they're alone and they're pleasuring themselves, they just think very loving thoughts about you. They're sexual, yes, but they're very loving. He's a very loving and kind person. Maybe a little shy at first. But overall, this is a really good person. And I don't know if you already are in a relationship with this person, or there's somebody you have your eye on, or somebody who's coming to you in the future. I think it's different for all of you. But the energy of this person really is very beautiful. They are very dedicated to you. They want you spiritually, emotionally, physically, sexually. But they're willing to take their time. This is a very strong, committed person. When I look at all these cards, we get almost all major arcana cards and court cards, which doesn't happen very often. But what I get from that is that this is a special person. This is a very spiritual person. And I'm getting very much soulmate energy because of that. So whoever it is that you're thinking about, this may be your soulmate. Or when your soulmate does come along, this is what they're going to be thinking. This is a really special person. And they want you, and they want to love you. I hope this has helped you in some small way. If it has, I'd appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Till next time, may your life always be full of love. Hello, Group 2. Today we're looking at what they think about you while they're pleasuring themselves. What are their masturbatory fantasies about you? So we're going to look at some tarot cards today. I have a lot of sensual, erotic tarot cards, so we're going to go through and use those and look at the meanings as well as the imagery on the card. And I'll try to pick up the energy of the card through those two things and see what I get from my spirit guides. So the first card we get is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is very energetic energy. Wow, that's redundant. Anyway, this is probably a very charismatic person. They're probably a very outgoing person, and they really like to take the lead in things, especially when it comes to love. They like to be in charge of their lover, so they're kind of a dominant personality. And when you look at this card, you can see that they like to be in charge. And they like you to be subservient to them, but only in a sexual way. I don't get that they want to dominate you in real life. They're not that kind of person. But when they are alone and thinking about you in a sexual way, they very much want to be very dominant in the bedroom. And they like to picture you just giving them everything that they want and doing everything that they command. They kind of like that fantasy. But I don't get that that's them in real life. They're not that kind of a person, but they may have a strong personality. Next, we get the Eight of Swords. All right, so this is really about being trapped and being smothered. But what I'm getting is that they want to, they think about you in some kinky ways. They want to tie you up. They want you to be subservient to them. And again, maybe put blindfolds on you, maybe tie your hands. And I'm seeing that they might want to just strap you to a bed with your arms and legs spread out so that they can have their way with you. But that's just their their imagery that they're using when they're masturbating, when they pleasure themselves, it's not really who they are. It's a fantasy. And sometimes fantasies are best left as fantasies. And that's what they're feeling, is like, I can imagine anything I want about her and it's okay because I'd never do it. Yeah, it's a nice energy that this person has. Then we go to the Three of Swords. 2 swords in a row. And this is often about conflict and sadness. And it's often about breakups. So this person probably had their heart broken before, and they're still recovering from that in a lot of ways. And it really kind of affects them in other relationships right now. So yeah, just be careful there. But when they're alone and they're thinking about you, you look at this picture and you go, yeah, they like kind of the leather and lace kind of a thing. They like you and lace, and they like to be dominant. And I'm getting that they like your breasts. That they fantasize about your breasts a lot. Just looking at this picture, you go, oh yeah, see, the breast there is very prominent, and I really get that, yeah, they like your breasts. Next, we get the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's a great card. This is, to me, it's about being lucky. It's about positive things changing. When it comes to love, it's often about navigating change with their partner. It also, I think in this case, means moving from one lover to another. So they had a bad breakup and they're getting over it, and they're trying not to put that energy onto you. And then when you look at this card, you get a 69 position here with the Wheel of Fortune on this card. With this card, I really think they're going to love 69 with you. I think they think about that a lot. I think they really want to taste you. I think that they really want to have you. They very much want to pleasure you while you're pleasuring them orally. That is something that they think about a lot. Then we get the Star. That's 2 major arcana cards in a row. But with this is about being optimistic. And this is about healing from past wounds. So yes, they really are overcoming this past relationship, and they're starting to feel very optimistic about the future, and they feel very optimistic about you. And you turn them on, you really do, because they want to do lots of things with you, or fantasize about lots of things with you that I don't think they do in real life. But they're very optimistic about the future with you and about their love life with you. Next, we get the Ace of Cups. And this is about romance and new friendships. So, yes, they're coming out of a relationship, and who knows, it could have been 2 years ago, but there's some scars there, okay? And there's some things that they're having a hard time overcoming. But this is about friendship and taking your relationship to the next level. And they want deeper intimacy with you. And they kind of see like the world is their oyster, and that you are a big part of their life moving forward. They see you as a very magical, mystical person, and that excites them. They really think about you in sexual ways a lot, okay? They pleasure themselves a lot, and you're often in those fantasies. And again, just remember they're fantasies. Just because they want to tie you up and want to blindfold you doesn't mean that they really are going to ever do that, unless that's what you want as well. They're going to be very considerate when it comes to your wants and needs. And they're okay with leaving fantasies as just fantasies. But they see a richness with you, a life with you. It's much more than just sexual fantasy with you, okay? They want to love you, and they are falling in love with you. Next, we get the Two of Wands. So this is all about planning, and I think that they're planning a future together with you. And in their mind, they see you two being married. They see making love to you. They see sharing their life with you, living with you, being with you every day, being able to hug you and kiss you whenever they feel like it, being able to spontaneously have sex with you. Yeah, I'm getting that while you're doing things around the house, they just kind of watch and they get turned on. And they want to make love to you at that very moment, but they kind of wait and they savor that moment. And as the sexual tension within them increases while they're watching you, at some point they won't be able to stand it, and they'll just grab you and kiss you and try to have their way with you right there and then. But that's what they see in the future. And they think about that a lot. They think about you just doing household chores and just getting turned on by that. Yeah, and I'm seeing a French maid costume. They may like you to dress up like a French maid. I think for some reason they really like that. I think they find it sexy to see you just doing household chores. Okay, next we get the Queen of Swords. Okay, the Queen of Swords is very picky. They're picky about who they love. They're picky about who they share their time with. And sometimes the Queen of Swords energy is very independent. And it also has some boundaries. Okay, so what I'm getting with this is that they think about you in some very sensual, sexual ways, but there's boundaries to it all. They'd never want to hurt you. They never want to hurt you physically, emotionally, or any other way. They don't want to hurt you. But yeah, they do think about you a lot while they're masturbating. When they're alone, their thoughts turn very sexual with you, and then they just have to touch themselves. Okay, next we get the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords it's about being trapped. What I'm getting from this card is that they felt suffocated and smothered in their previous relationship. And they're glad they're out of that relationship. And I'm also getting that they think about you being very passive when it comes to sex. And they like that. They kind of want to dominate you, or that's their fantasy anyway. And they see you very passive. And I still get that, yes, they want to tie you up, or they think about tying you up, but I don't get the energy that they want to hurt you in any way. They just think that it is erotic to have blindfolds and ties and maybe some leather and lace kind of things, okay? Then the last card we get is the Page of Wands. Okay, and the Page of Wands is about possibilities and adventure. And it's about making love and about romance. And so I get that, yes, they want to have sex with you, no doubt. They see you as a beautiful goddess. You look at this picture, and this is what the way they see you and the way they fantasize about you a lot is just you being naked and them just watching you. Oh, yeah, and I'm just getting this imagery of while they're touching themselves and pleasuring themselves, they would like to watch you touch yourself and pleasure yourself. But this really is a card of adventure, and so they want to try new things with you. And they're going to bring up a lot of things that may or may not excite you. If you don't like it, that's okay, and they're okay with that. But they like new possibilities, and they like adventure when it comes to sex. But this person probably is a very good lover because they think about it a lot, and they think about the things that they want to do to you, but in a very loving and caring way. They don't want to really dominate you in real life, even if that's a fantasy in the bedroom. That's really not who they are in real life, okay? This is a good person, a good lover, full of possibilities, full of adventure and love. I hope this has helped you in some way. If it has, I'd really appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Till next time, may your life always be full of love. Hello, Group 3. Today we're taking a look at what they think about you while they're pleasuring themselves. We're going to use all tarot cards today. I have a bunch of erotic tarot decks, so I'm going to use those. I'm going to use the meanings of the cards as well as the imagery on the cards to try to get an energy of what it is that they fantasize about with you. Okay, so let's get going. First we have the Seven of Swords. All right, the Seven of Swords is about lies and deception. It's about having affairs. It's about feeling suspicious. And so really what I'm getting about this is they like to think about you as a secret lover. And they don't want other people to know. Now, in real life, that's not the way they are. This is just fantasy, remember, okay? So they like to think about having an affair with you in order to make it more erotic for them, to make it kind of taboo, make it so that there's an element of risk in it. So that's the energy I get from this card. Next, we get the Three of Cups. All right, now this is a better card, okay? This is about friendships and friendships turning into romances. It's about being social, and it's about getting together as a group of friends and having that friendship you have with this person really turning into a romance. So this may be somebody who you're not involved with yet, but they see you and they fantasize about you. And they hope that they can turn whatever relationship you have now into something more romantic. See, this is all about community and friendships. And so, yeah, I really get that they fantasize about you, but they really want to be in love with you, but they think you're gorgeous and they love your body. And then looking at this card, I also get that they may think about threesomes with you. And that doesn't mean that they ever want to actually have a threesome with you. It's just the imagery that they have, that they use to masturbate. And that's you with another woman, or you with maybe two other women like in this picture. So it doesn't mean that that's what they really want from you. It's just a fantasy. But I think they do fantasize about you with other women. Then we get the Two of Wands. Okay, so this is about planning and about making plans about love with you. They see a future together with you and they're planning on a future with you. They really believe that you two could be good together. You know, you look at this picture and you see a woman staring off into the distance, holding a crystal ball, or maybe it's a globe, and their staff. And they're looking out into the world. And they're looking into the future. And that's really what this person is thinking of. They're thinking of a future with you, even though the imagery they use for masturbation purposes may be of having an affair with you or something. They really see you more as a romantic partner and as a long-term partner. Next, we get the Three of Wands. We get the Two of Wands, then the Three of Wands. It's kind of interesting. They want to take your relationship to the next level. See, this is the whole thing about being an acquaintance or a friend and then turning it romantic. This is the same energy. but they want to create a lasting foundation with you, something that's going to last. Yeah, looking at this picture, I do get that they probably are an ass man. They like your butt. And it shows this woman looking behind. I'm getting that they like doggy style, but they like you to try to look back to look at them because they like to see your face. But they like your rear end. They like your butt. Then we have the Two of Cups. And this is about starting a relationship. Something that's going to be mutually beneficial to the both of you. Something that's going to be sexually good for both of you. That's what they really want. And they fantasize about that. Mutually beneficial sexual relationship with you. And they really want to work with you when they really think about you in real life and not in their fantasies, but in real life. They really want to work with you as a team and be equals in the bedroom and be equals in your relationship. Then we get the World card. And this is one of the best cards you can get in the tarot deck because it's about being loved. It's about feeling grateful. And it's about a fulfilling relationship. And that's what they really want. I think they see you as special. I think they see you as someone who they can spend the rest of their life with. And that turns them on. Just by thinking, I love this person, turns them on. Because they really want something long-term. And they see you in a long-term way. They want you. They want you sexually, but they want you physically. They want to be able to hold you. They want to be able to kiss you. They want to be able to just have you next to them. They want to touch you. Next, we get the Six of Wands. And this is all about having a successful relationship, a fulfilling relationship. So yeah, they are really thinking about you very much in a loving way. And their fantasies about you are actually very loving. You know, even though they may think of you in a threesome or something, or with another woman or whatever, they know that that's not realistic. They know that that's really never going to happen. But it's okay. They're all right with that. They just want a good relationship with you. They want a fulfilling relationship. One that's going to last. That's what they really want. Then we get the Fool. And the Fool is always about new possibilities. And it's about new relationships. And it's about fun. And it's about romance. It's about not caring what anybody else thinks. And just stepping out into the unknown. So they really want a relationship with you. A good relationship. A loving relationship. One full of romance. And they think about you in very romantic ways. I think often their fantasies start off with simple things like giving you a rose and kissing you and holding you. Then it leads to more things. But I think they always think of you in a very loving way, in a very fun and lighthearted way. Lots of romance. They really want to bring you flowers. They want to give you candy. They want to honor you in many ways. The next card we get is the Sun. Another great card. The Sun is about taking things to the next level, and it's about shining light on everything. Whenever I think of the Sun card, it is summer, and it's fun, and it's playful. It's going outdoors. And again, when I look at this card, I think they fantasize about you on a beach. And again, this is showing some woman's rear end. And I really think that that's what they like about you. It's one of the many things. They really like your ass, okay? And they really like to picture you in a doggy style position, or they like to picture you just bending over and then entering you from behind. Right? That is a fantasy for them. And they like to think about making love to you on a beach. But they just think of you in happy and loving ways. Last card we get is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is a very cheerful and confident person. They're very open. And they'll tell you what they feel. They're very independent. They don't need anybody, but they want you. They want to be with you. So even though they can be a very confident, independent person, they still want to spend their life with you. And they really think that you're beautiful. You know, you look at this card and you go, okay, this is a beautiful woman. Virtuous, lovely. And that's the way they think of you. It's the way they see you in everyday life. And that really turns them on. But they do like to see you in different sexual ways when they're alone. And you give them fuel for their fantasies, okay? They really see you in a loving, virtuous way. They do look at you as a queen. You're the Queen of Wands, and they think you're beautiful. Overall, this person is a great person who feels like they're falling for you. They're falling in love with you. Yeah, they may have some dirty thoughts about you, but they're in a very loving, supportive way. And remember, fantasies are just fantasies. Doesn't mean that they really want to carry out those fantasies into real life. That's not the way they think about you. I hope this has helped you in some way. If it has, I'd appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Till next time, may your life always be full of love.